Hello, today I'm going to talk to you all about the digital nomad lifestyle. I had a taste of it last year and I'm going to tell you about 6 ways that I made money whilst we were traveling the world. Welcome to the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. I'm Charlotte Jessup. Let's get started. Back in September of 2019, my husband and I decided to take our 2 kiddies and go on a round the world trip. Now we quit our jobs and we just decided to embrace traveling, and we went to some truly incredible places. We were able to travel through the USA and down through South America. We spent some time in Australia, and then we went up through Southeast Asia and then into Europe. So we had about 6.5 months. Our trip was cut a bit short due to COVID, but we had 6.5 months of traveling the world and living this nomadic lifestyle. Now, obviously, traveling is not cheap, so we had to do a whole load of saving before we started, but we were absolutely determined that we were going to make money and be digital nomads as we were exploring the world and having some great quality family time. Now, the lifestyle was great. We spent our days out with the kids, going to beaches, seeing the sights. We even went to Disney World in Florida for sort of 2 weeks. So we were busy all the time during the day, doing family stuff and just embracing the places that we were exploring and the places that we were visiting. So for us, it was very much fun and excitement during the day and lots of time with our children. And then in the evening, that's when we would settle down and work. This was obviously, a balance. We had to do our resting and our relaxation in the daytime as well as our fun and enjoyment, because our evenings were taken up with our ways that we were making money. Now, I had my business, so Looking After Your Pennies was already in existence from sort of 2018, and I decided that I was going to take that with me on the road. I'm going to talk more about this in a little bit, but I just want to let you know that you don't need to have some huge business or some well-established business, not that my business was huge or particularly well-established at that point, but you don't need to have lots of things in place before you set off. It worked well for us to have something that was kind of already in motion and to have a few side hustles on the go, but it doesn't necessarily need to be that way. There are lots of ways you can make money, and I really think that you can just lean into what you enjoy or lean into the things that you're good at and find a way to take those with you. I was a teacher before I left, and you might think that teaching is not one of those jobs that you can particularly do outside of a classroom. But I think COVID has taught us that we can do pretty much anything, anywhere. And we have teachers in the classroom now, but there are still those that are teaching online and doing distance learning. And there have always been tutors and online teachers. So whatever it is that you do for your job or as a living, you can find a way to do that online or do that as you are traveling. Even if you think your job really isn't one of those examples where you can't take it with you or you can't turn it into a digital format, then maybe you can look at taking just some of the elements or some of the skills of what you do and turning that into something that travels with you. So let's get on with it. Let's get on to these 6 ways that I made money as I was traveling that enabled me to be a digital nomad. So number 1, let's start with my website. So I started Looking After Your Pennies back in March, April time of 2018. Now, I've been blogging a bit before that on and off in a kind of hobby fashion, but when I started Looking After Your Pennies, it was the view that I would be able to make money. I was looking to subsidise my income from my teaching job. This is a great way to make a kind of passive income. So you might land on my website through Google, you might type in something, and I will recommend a product or a service, and you think, yeah, that's the thing I need, and you will click on that link, and the company thanks me for promoting them or advertising their services and pays me some money as a means of a thank you. The other way I make money on my platform, so this is also like on my blog, but also my associated social media channels, is that I do sponsored posts. So this is when a company might reach out and say, Charlotte, we really want to work with you. We want to use your platform. We want to reach your audience because we think they're the right audience for us. Could you write a piece or create some content where you promote us in some way? Now, these can be really well paying, and these are some of my main sources of income from my blog and from my website. And you can start getting these early on. So if you start a blog, you can start making money from that platform very quickly if you start building an audience and you start curating the sort of people that actually suit your website and suit your content. So having an engaged and a keen audience and following can attract some of these businesses that are trying to reach the people that read your content on your blog. Now, the third way that I've made money through blogging is through advertising revenue. So this is where I place adverts on my website, and if you visit my website and you go through, you might see these. The company will pay me for having those adverts on my website. Now, this is fairly small money, so it really depends on the traffic that you have on your website, but it's another way that I was able to make money and travel, and actually ad revenue is a really good source of passive income because I don't actually have to do anything. The ads appear by themselves, and as long as people are visiting my website, then I'm making money. Number two, the second way that I was making money as I was traveling was through digital products. So I have created some resources. So there is a budgeting spreadsheet, there are various printables, a budget planner that you can print out to help you do your budget. And all of these resources are things that I've created and they are purely digital. So I'm not managing these products in a physical shop. I'm not posting them out to you. I'm not sending them out to the people that buy them. I just create them in a digital form, upload them either onto my website or onto Etsy, and I sell them through there. So if you go onto my shop on my website, you can click on there, you can buy them, and you can download them straight away, print them as many times as you like, use them for whatever you want to use them for, and that's it. That's all I have to do. So I was making money through these by promoting these products, promoting these digital downloads, and people were paying me for them. At the time, I was only making small amounts of money, but it all added up. So people would be buying these things. I'd just get a notification from PayPal that said, this person has bought something, and I'd get their money in my account the same day. Number three is Fiverr. Now, I've talked about Fiverr quite a lot. I've even written a book about it and created a workshop and a course all about how to sell your services on Fiverr. Now, Fiverr is one that I started when we were traveling. So I was already well into this digital nomad lifestyle when I first stepped into the world of Fiverr. It was something I wanted to do for a while and had kind of put off for a bit. So I was really nudged into starting that when we were already on the road, and I was looking for a way to boost our funds so we could do more fun and exciting things whilst we were out and about. So Fiverr is a freelance platform. So it's a way of selling freelance skills and services to the people that want them. So this could be a small business, or it could be an individual that's looking to start a website, and you can just promote your skills and your services to these people. So the particular service that I was selling and how I was making money was through selling my freelance writing skills. So I used my experience as a blogger to set up my profile as a freelance writer and to sell that service to other people. Now, when I started out, I put my prices quite low, and as it's gone on, I've increased my prices as I've got more and more customers. This became a really lucrative revenue stream, and actually it was pretty much paying my mortgage when we got back into the UK when COVID hit. It was paying my mortgage, it was paying my bills, and it was a really great source of income. Now, you don't have to sell writing skills, you can sell any other skills you've got. So if you're a graphic designer, maybe you're a voice artist, any of these things, you can sell them on Fiverr. So I recommend you head over to that platform, take a look at the things that people are selling, and see if there's something on there that you might be able to sell. So number 4 is user testing. Now, this one I didn't do much, but it's still provided me with some amounts of income. So user testing is a website where you review apps and websites and you provide feedback to these companies to improve their services. So it's fairly simple. It's talking into a microphone. Sometimes they will record your face. That seems to be a newer thing that they've started doing more recently. And what you do is you just give feedback. So you might be shown a website of a shop, and they will all give you some tasks to do. So this can include, maybe like they'll say, oh, we want you to buy this t-shirt, and then go to the checkout, and then you just have to talk through that process. See if there's anything that you found surprising, or anything that you thought needs to be different. Did you find it easy? Did you find it confusing? That's the information that they're looking to get on that platform. Now, the way you make money is that you can complete some questions. They do a screening process. If you're suitable, you will go in, complete these tests, and then exactly a week later, they will pay you $10. So this is US dollars. Now, that amounts to about sort of £7.50 at the moment, and you get that straight into your PayPal exactly a week later. So it's a really good system. These tests don't take longer than 20 minutes. Some of them have been 2 minutes, so I've been getting paid sort of £7.50 for 2 minutes work. And this was something I was able to do abroad. So I was able to take this one with me. You need to check for their rules and regulations though. Some of them say they don't like you to do it when traveling or going abroad. So you may want to look at the current T's and C's on User Testing's website to see if you are allowed to do that. Number 5 is tutoring. So obviously, as a teacher, I am not new to the world of tutoring. This is something that I've been doing for a long time in my career, both in my place of work and outside of it. So for me, tutoring was a natural extension of what I've been doing for the last 10 years. But taking that on the road required a bit of tweaking. Now, I started tutoring online back in 2018, and it was a really great way to make money. At that time, I was here in the UK, and I was actually tutoring a family that were from the UK but had themselves gone and lived abroad in the United States for a short period of time. So I was tutoring their kids in their maths, and they were on the other side of the world. So I knew that tutoring was something that I could do wherever I was, pretty much on any sort of time zone, and still be able to make money from it. And there are a couple of ways that you can make money from tutoring if you're traveling the world. Now, the first one is to offer your services in a private way. So you can set up your own website, you can set up a Facebook page, and promote your tutoring services as a small business of your own. So as a maths teacher, I already had a few connections in this area, so I've been tutoring friends and family for a long time, and so I used some of those connections and was able to take those with me. Obviously, there were times when I was tutoring and it would be like first thing in the morning for me, but it would be bedtime for them, and so that took a little bit of tweaking. It didn't necessarily always fit into my ideal schedule for my nomadic lifestyle, where I wanted to preserve the fun in the day and then work in the evenings, but sometimes it was worth just maybe taking an hour out of our day for the sake of the money that I would get in return. Now, there are other ways that you can tutor as well. So there are some great websites that look for people to teach English as an additional language. These websites that are set up in different countries, many of them are in places like China, where they are looking for people who are native or fluent English speakers to teach their non-English speaking children this language. So they have whole websites set up for this, and you can choose pretty much how many hours you work, and for some of them you can set your own fees as well. Now, for some of these, you might need a teaching qualification, but for others, you don't need a teaching qualification. So take a look at some of the different websites. I'll pop a link below of some of the ones that I'm aware of and that I found really useful when I was traveling as a way to make money. If you want to tutor in a university level subject, so maybe you've got a PhD in classics or something like that, you can still do tutoring. You can tutor adults just as well as you can tutor children. So you don't need to think that you might end up working with 6 or 7 year olds. You can work with anyone from any age and tutor them on pretty much any skill. And the last one, number 6, is investments. So we had been investing for a while before we left to go traveling. So we had a pot of money that we were investing. We also had some savings that we were sort of digging into as we were traveling, but we were also using those wisely so that they would actually generate a small amount of income whilst we were on the road. The other thing that we had, and it's not necessarily an investment, but is a way that we made money, was that we have this house. So we had our house, and when we was away, we actually rented that out. Thankfully, because of the way we've been able to pay off our mortgage and the great interest rates that we've had along the way, this means that we were actually able to get a really good rental income, and it more than covered our mortgage and provide us with some extra in our pockets to use when we were traveling. So property investment, if you took that one step further and not just used your own home, but actually looked at building a rental property portfolio, then you could potentially get some rental income that could help you pay for your travels as you go. Now, we've met up with other families that will actually use this as a way of funding their travels. But obviously this requires a big initial investment. It's not for everybody. Now, I use the word this big initial investment, and that's exactly what it is. You need to have the money and the time to dedicate to building this before it provides you with a reasonable level of income. But we were making money this way whilst we were traveling, so it was worthy of going on the list. So that's it. You can be a digital nomad. There are lots of ways that you can make money. You just need to find the ones that work for you. This was my real life. This is what I did for 6.5 months and then continue to do, and I'm still doing now that we're back in the UK. Once the world opens up to us again, I will be out and I will be taking these skills and the things that I've learned about making money on the road back out there with us again. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you see my future videos. I would love to hear from you. Check out the links in the description and I will see you in the next video.